up? Welcome back to the Currency Club. Today's special guest is Kern Deuce, and he is a music producer. Very excited to have him here. Literally met this man in elementary school, right? So we go way back. And we have a special connection because when I started my WhitneyStylez YouTube channel, I always needed some original music, right? Original audio track. I used to hit Kern up and be like, hey, I got this Halloween themed video. Can I get a beat? Got this Christmas themed video. Can I get a beat? And he was always like, I got you. 10 minutes later, he's sending me high quality audio, original stuff that I'm using in the background of my audio track. So very talented man. Super excited to have him here. What's up, Kern?
My name is Kern Deuce. I'm a music producer out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I've been the producer now for 10 years. Started off as a rapper. You know, I don't like to be up front and all the attention. I would rather make my money in the behind the scenes. So I started producing, went to school for it, and got to this point.
I did not know you went to school for it. Where did you go?
Yeah. I went to LA Film School for recording arts. That's where I learned to produce and to mix and master music. So basically audio engineering and producing music at the same time. It's a 4-year degree. It took some time, just some patience. It definitely took some patience. So basically I got my degree in it. Didn't go to graduation, but I did have them mail my degree to me, okay. And I keep it in a special spot.
Why didn't you go to graduation?
Graduations for me are super boring. It's a 2-hour, 3-hour waiting time, and you just wait for 15 seconds for them to call your name, and you walk on stage, and you walk off. I'd rather save my time and do some work.
But you shake the president's hand, you get a photo for your mom and the memory books. You just said, I don't care about none of that.
Even for Southeast school was never my thing. I just did that for me to be able to learn my craft and be able to iron it down. So the degree and being able to finish something at a high level, that was an accomplishment enough for me.
What's the day in the life of a music producer?
It's the music producing and it's the audio engineering. So with the audio engineering thing, I'm just the guy that makes everything sound better. So once you hear something on the radio, it doesn't sound like that when they originally recorded that. So when I first start on it, I get into it. I get my plugins and everything like that. That's the hardest task. Producing, when I work with an artist, I basically ask what type of feel they're looking for. How you came to me. You'll say, I need this, this, and that. I look for what type of pace they need so I can figure out the BPM. They give me a head nod. I get a feel for what they need. I like to work with somebody basically telling me what they need. But a lot of times I do have things on the side that I already have done for them. Like if they ask something, they're like, do you have something I can hear? I'll just shoot it to them. But it took me a while to narrow this down. So that's when you seen that I can send you something within 10, 15 minutes. That's because I just sit there and I practice my craft. I know how to read music. That was very hard, learning how to read music and learning the keys on the piano and learning what notes to play and how to play chords.
So look, did you ever play the piano, like the real life piano, or only like a keyboard when you're making your beats?
I played the real life piano first. The school sends you a keyboard. So they send you a keyboard through the mail. I did all my classes online and I knew someone that had a piano. So at the same time, even with the small keyboard that they sent us for the school, I used to go over their house and play on the piano and learn the keys and learn how to play chords. It's similar, but it's not. Like certain things a softer touch, some things you need a softer touch. Some things you need to hit the keys hard. You got to learn that part though.
Do you play any other instruments?
I tried the saxophone one time and it did not work out for me. It didn't work well. This is when elementary, I was probably in the 3rd grade and I asked my mom, could I try to play a saxophone? The Simpsons is the one that made me always want to play a saxophone because, Lisa played the saxophone and everything. And I used to see that as a kid. I was intrigued by it. So I asked my mom for a saxophone and I ended up taking it back within 2 weeks.
So tell me about the skills you need to be either the engineer or the music producer.
Skills you need for a producer, you just need a feel. You need a feel for music, be able to see exactly what your customer wants, even through the phone. So sometimes the artist doesn't know what's best for them either. Okay, so there's producing and there's beat making. Beat making is you just make a beat and you send it off to a person. Producing is helping them orchestrate the song. So with producing, I make the beat, I format it, so I send it off to them. I can get their idea on what they feel like they want to do with the music, but also I can give pointers like, okay, say this word like this when this 808 drops right here. Punch a little harder right there. Say this, go higher on your key. Say this harder, do that. You help them orchestrate it because a lot of songs are raw when they're coming in. They're just, boom, it's a pattern. And they got that right idea of what they want to say, but they don't know how exactly to say it. And your producer is supposed to help you out to make the song the best that it could be.
What is the 808? I think you just assumed the audience.
The 808 is the boom that you hear, that. That when you hit that boom, that's the 808. So you got 808, you got kicks, you got drums, you got hi-hats, you got snares. The snare is the help you nod your head to it. Like you see where you get the pattern. It's like, okay. So that's what, like, you get that feel. Usually when I'm face to face with an artist, I'm like, all right, nod your head for me and let me see what type of rhythm you got. And if they're giving me that, I'm like, okay, I see what type of big PM you want, what type of song you want. Oh, okay, I want a trap song. I want a mellow, like a mellow little low key song. I'm like, okay, so we going this way. I'm like, all right, give me some words, spit something out. They start giving me what type of flow they want or something like that. Oh, that's easy for me. I catch on just like that. That'll take about 15, 20, 30 minutes. But that didn't come overnight though either. That took years of work to even learn that. It went from hours of being able to narrow that down to now it takes somewhere between like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Some songs could take longer than that. It can still take a couple hours, but I tried to perfect my craft.
So what type of stuff do you do to perfect your craft? Are you taking online classes? Are you trying to work with industry greats? Like, how are you learning?
As of right now, I still make at least 5 beats a day. I'll get in my studio. I'm in my studio area right now. So like I'll get in my studio. I have a keyboard right here. I have my headphones. I have a microphone right here. So there's no limit to producing. So even if you don't have the perfect sound that you think that you want within the DAW that you use, which is the program I use is Logic Pro. I use Logic Pro for to make my beats in. And I also use Ableton Suite. So sometimes they don't have those noises that you see. You can make different noises. This is something I learned from Sherman. You get your microphone, you can make a noise inside your microphone, and you can transfer that noise, import that noise into your program. And then you can start making notes, and you play the notes off that noise itself. That's what makes certain songs or certain beats or a song that you produce unique to your own like sound. You don't want to sound like every other producer or everything like that. A lot of people go and they follow a pattern for certain producers, but you don't have to do that. There's no limit to what you can do as a producer. You can make a different sound, and whatever hits, it hits.
So what is your signature? Do you specialize at something? When a Kern beat drops, how do they know?
A lot of producers do tags at the beginning of their beats. I do tags for certain beats. Certain beats, it just got that special thing that you can't even do a tag on it. So for example, let's say a baker, someone that bakes cakes, they'll bring a cake out, they'll have their special baked cake that to where you just know like that's their cake. This is Whitney's cake right here. I know it. This is so good that I'm not gonna put the stamp on there. They're just gonna know once I put this product in front of them, boom, it's just gonna hit you and they're just gonna be like, that's Whitney. That's Whitney right there. So that's exactly how my beats go. So it's just certain things, it's just a special type thing. Once they hear that, they're either going to want to find out who produced that track, or they're just going to know off top.
Okay, so have you worked with any big name celebrities?
I worked with Oskino before from State Property. This is like a childhood thing of mine. Send him some beats out. It's some upcoming rappers, actually some in Texas. He signed to Gucci Mane right now, but his name is Hot Boy West. There's a song coming out with him coming up this month, actually. There's going to be a song coming out with him this month and a video attached to that. And in between that, there's some underground rappers. There's some rappers from our hometown. This is my 8th city that I've lived in. I live in Las Vegas now, but this is my 8th city. So I've been connecting with rappers, singers, people from different genres. I lived in Rapids in 2005. So it's been almost 17 years that I've been just connecting with musicians from place to place. Like I still have Los Angeles connections, Memphis connections, Atlanta, Chicago, just from there, place to place to place. I'm building a catalog. So on top of that, I have my my series of basically beat tapes that I put out that I put them online. That's a streaming source also on how I make some of my money.
Oh, we definitely gonna talk about how you make money from this. So yes, I'm happy you took it there. Happy you took it there. So look, how do you network with other people in the industry when you get to these cities, whether you're visiting there or living there?
Groundwork and word of mouth. You definitely have to get out there and basically shake hands and kiss babies. Function with the artists, the up and coming artists in the city. You find out where they go, where they have their opening mics and everything like that. You network. You tell them what you do, how you can help them. They'll let you know if they're feeling something. We get each other, we exchange information. That's where we go from there. And other things is a lot of people do see my social network, like my social media and everything like that. A lot of people go through my Instagram or something and they'll click a link that's in my bio and they'll go through my beat tapes or something like that. And I'll get a DM and people will say, hey, I like that. Could you make something like this? It's flowing easier now than when it was before. A lot of it before was just groundwork and me posting things online for for people to see something and be like, oh, I didn't know you make beats. Let me hear something, and then I'll shoot it to them.
Got it. So how do you find like the best up and coming artists? Is it because you go out and you in the city and you active and you at these open mic nights, or do you more so rely on the internet? Like what's trending? Anybody with a viral video? Like
the younger kids, they're the ones who's like running the show. The 15 to 25 age range. So who they like now? A lot of people like Dirk. Lil Durk. A lot of people like NBA Youngboy. They like Gunna. That's their wave right now. You have to go with the times also, but you don't have to necessarily get away from what you like either, because there's a lane for everybody. There's backpack rappers. There's emo rappers. There's trap rappers. There's conscious rappers. There's different things. There's different type of R&B. There's genres and there's branches off to that genre also. You can narrow it down. A lot of artists have tags, basically hashtags on what they're making when they're posting things up. So if you can search that hashtag also on a certain type of artist you want to work with, it'll be able to pop up.
So Kern is super versatile. I already told y'all about the Halloween and the Christmas music. He sent me trap beats. He sent me island music. He sent me New Year's party music. He sent me elevator music, upbeat pop music. Just so versatile, right? But what is your genre? Like, what is your niche? What is your preference when it comes to producing music or making beats?
For the most part, I work with mostly rappers, but then the second, it'll go down in the R&B, but mostly it's hip hop, rappers. It's not a specific sound. It doesn't have to be necessarily trap, or it doesn't have to necessarily be the conscious rap. It's actually, a lot of people come from different sides. I can make anything. That's why I went to school for it, because I wanted to be able to make any sound that you need. Exactly what you said. Like, so if you wanted Christmas, I will be able to make Christmas. If you wanted elevator music, I can make that. That's why I perfected my craft, because whatever you need, I will be able to do it for you. And that helps you stay up with the times and helps you stay relevant, because you don't want to get to a point to where someone asks for something or the times change, because music changes every few years on the sound of what the music is. You can't make that. You fall behind.
And then expand your customer base as well. If you only can make beats for one type of group, then you're going to miss out on some opportunities to get some money. So let's talk about money. I want to play a little game called I'm a Hustler. What's the craziest thing you've ever done for money?
I can't do that. What's possible?
You are cracking up. Oh my goodness. Bro, you said you watched other interviews. I asked everybody this question.
I did.
I thought you was prepared.
I can't say that one. But usually
now I feel like you got to tell me offline.
I wouldn't say this was necessarily crazy, but my lunch money came from me selling CDs. I used to sell burnt CDs at Ottawa.
It served your passion. And it was a need. I remember buying CDs.
Exactly.
You used to be like, I got 3 for $10. Like, yes, I used to burn my own CDs, but I bought other people's too. So yeah. So they say you could tell a lot about a person based on where they spend a majority of their money. Like you could tell their habits, what they passionate about, what they care about. So what do you spend a majority of your money on?
More music equipment. I still spend money on my craft, being able to promote that and getting more instruments. There's certain things you can do. You can upgrade, you can get more plugins for producing and changing basically the music for it to be unique to your own sound. You buy more plugins for when somebody records in your studio to make their voices sound better and everything like that. So that's for the engineer side. So like when somebody comes in, they have the best sounding voice. There's different levels of auto-tune to even make it easier for you. Some come in presets and everything, and some come to where you can tweak it. Like if you don't have certain plugins, it could take you a very long time to tweak that person's voice to where it's radio ready. That's where I spend my money basically on music, more things towards my craft. It's a lot of quick trips I'll pick up one day and I'll go to LA to work with artists. More majority of the time is to work with artists. I'll catch a quick flight to Atlanta. I need to catch a flight to Texas to work with the artists because they did want me to come to the video shoot, but I was too busy at the time. But they have other tracks of mine that they're going to shoot videos to. So I got to come to Texas. What I'm going to do is fly out and I'll be present during the music video. There's other just places that I just rather just for leisure.
So do you think living in these 8 different cities, 8 different states has helped your music career because you were able to network with all these people? Or do you think you would have had the same amount of success living in Grand Rapids?
Absolutely. I think it helps. You have to basically expand. It's not that you have to necessarily move out of Grand Rapids, but you also have to have the capability to expand and be able to meet different people, get outside of your box. Like sometimes you have to get uncomfortable and get outside of your box to meet people, even if you're an introvert. People don't see me as an introvert, but I am more of an introvert. I like to be in my own zone and work in my own zone with no one bothering me. But at the same time, I can get out there and I can talk to whoever when I need to. It works for me to get out I'm not saying it's not possible that you can't do it from just one city and be in Grand Rapids, but it helps more and it goes quicker when you're out on the road doing the groundwork.
I'm even thinking about the travel situation, like how you said you're taking quick flights. I mean, I'm sure the airport situation is better in a bigger market for you to have more direct flights, quicker flights, no layovers, like just like that type of thing too. Probably cheaper.
Exactly what you said. So out of all the cities I live, Vegas is the cheapest and the quickest to get out of here. That was a pro for me moving here also. So getting out of here, because a lot of the time this is a tourist city, a lot of people are flying in instead of flying out. So the flights out are very cheap and it's quick to get to where you need to. To get to LA, when I need to get there, it's a 45-minute flight. And it's a flight that costs less than a full tank of gas. And so I'd rather just fly there, get that out the way, and I'll fly back home.
So I want to continue with the money conversation because you do a lot. You tell me you make beats, you produce, you engineer. How do you get paid for this work you do?
So there's my music on basically all the streaming things. So you go to Apple Music or you go to Spotify, and I have my beat albums there. So off the streams, I get paid off of that itself. So once you build a bigger catalog and people are looking for beats or just listening to instrumentals or just fans of music, they stream your music or they buy certain beats or everything off of that. Those streams, mine goes straight to DistroKid. So that's my distribution. My distribution is through DistroKid. I get paid that way monthly. If you listen to it on Tidal, if you listen to it on Spotify, if you listen to it on Amazon Music, YouTube Music, all those streams go directly to my account from to DistroKid. I'm an independent producer that gets paid off of those beat albums. Also, I get paid basically from, let's say, word of mouth. People come to me directly, they ask me what my price is, I ask them what they need, how much they need, they send a deposit, I make that for them. Once I send that over, they own it, they get that from me. The other way I get paid is there's a BeatStars profile that I have. So there's really artists that go to a site to look for certain beats or anything that they need, and they pay for those beats that I upload on that site. So those are 3 different ways that I get paid from producing, basically.
Like if you over here engineering and mastering a song, like do they pay you on the front end, the back end, once the music is done?
Audio engineering, like for my studio and everything like that, all that is up front. As far as the people that pay for beats, they pay, a lot of people pay deposits up front and then they pay the rest once it's done. Once they like what they need, if they need anything tweaked, I ask them that. They were like, oh, I like it this way. Could you do this way? That's the beauty of being able to engineer and also produce the music. So if you need anything shift or moved around, I can do that with ease also. But a lot of people do deposits up front. Unless you go directly to BeatStars, my BeatStars site, you can buy something, a beat that I put up there. You don't have to go through that, but there is a contract that's attached to the beats that you buy off of BeatStars also.
Okay, so which one makes you the most money? Is it streaming? Is it selling individual beats? Is it engineering songs?
That all depends on timing, actually. Let's say summertime is coming up. So you get a lot of artists looking to drop an anthem during summertime coming up. So you get the windows from February to May. People are going to streaming sites to find the perfect beat for them, or they're reaching out to find the perfect beat from them, and then they'll start reaching out, and then I get paid that way. Now, when it's downtime in music, which is fourth quarter, so music, the people get paid in four quarters, artists, majority of the time, if they have their business set up right. So they get paid in 4 quarters. Fourth quarter is one of the slowest times, but people still love music and want to listen to music. Then around that time, people are just streaming music and listening to the music that's available at that time. So at a certain time on the back end of the year, a lot of streams are just racking up, and I'm getting paid with DistroKid off the streams, off the beat albums I got out. So it's basically just off of timing.
Okay, so everything you said requires you to have some type of equipment to make these beats, to engineer this, all that, right? So for a person who wants to get started in this industry, wants to get started making beats, what equipment do you recommend for them?
The first thing you need is a laptop. The second thing you will need is whatever program that you decide to use yourself. You can use Pro Tools, you can use Fruity Loops, you can use Ableton, and you can use Logic Pro, or they have other things that you can use also, but those are the 4 that I recommend. Technically, that's all you need. Now, after that, you can get you headphones, you can get a microphone, you can get a keyboard if you need that. But if you don't have the funds, you don't necessarily need the extra things. It helps and it's easier, but you don't necessarily need that. You can literally have a laptop and you can have the program that you need, and you can play the keys off of your laptop.
Okay, so what type of features does a person need in a laptop?
Well, you only need the program. So all the only feature that you actually need is the program. So if you buy Pro Tools or if you buy Logic Pro, you buy that program and you upload it to your computer or your laptop or whatever you need. Once that's on there and you start up that program, you can get on there. The sounds buttons are already there for you to do that. Drag it. As you see A, S, D, or your laptop keyboard or your computer keyboard, you can play the music just like that.
When I interviewed like Darius and Mayo from the Jungle is Hell podcast, I talked to them about the equipment that you need to start a podcast. And we talked about some of the specifics of a laptop. Like we talked about storage space, processors, and things like that. So that's what I was leaning towards. Like, does it have to be a super fast computer?
No, I'm giving people the cheapest way to do it. You technically do not need it. You can get you a flash drive or anything that if you would like to. When you come with storage space, so let's say, do it for example, if you make a beat on Logic Pro, once you make that beat, and if you want to save it, you can save it. If you wanted to buy extra space, or let's say if your computer started running out of space, you can also buy extra space off of Google Drive, and you can upload it on that and clear your computer out if you needed to. So you don't necessarily have to go get the drive if you don't want to. You could just spend Google Drive, cost a few dollars or anything like that. So I'm trying to give people the most cost efficient if they don't have the funds to not do it. If you have the funds to do it, go out and get what you need. But you don't necessarily have to do that just to start up. Just for any kid. If it's a kid that's 15 and his parents gets him a laptop, or they go get him a program that he asked for that's a few $100s or so, or he can do a free trial. Once you make your first beat, this is the hustling way to do it. So you take that, you grab that, you make a beat, sell it to your peers, whoever raps, keep stacking that money. Now you go buy the equipment that you need. And that's when you keep building onto your studio if you need to.
Okay, look, have you ever thought about consulting, coaching other people who want to get started in this game?
I have.
I think you'd be good at that.
I have consulted with a few people, like a few people wanted to make beats or anything like that. Actually, it was like a friend of mine from LA. As far as teaching it, I can teach you the quickest way to do it. So he had his wife buy him a laptop, and he had his wife buy him the program. She also bought him just like a miniature keyboard if he needed it. So I actually flew to LA, and we were in his garage. It's like, okay, so this is what you do. This is how you drag the sounds. You have to be very patient also, because everybody's not going to catch on to the things that the same speed that you do. Learn patience. If you have patience to teach people, then it's a go. So, but I have that patience to teach people because I know everyone has different speeds of learning. I can't just assume that everybody can catch on to the quickest way on how I learned it. So if you have questions, I'm receptive to questions if they have it, or if they need them.
So talk to me about some of the challenges of doing this work. What is like the non-glamorous stuff, the behind the scenes stuff that people don't see or people don't think about? People
seeing the time that it takes for me to basically make a beat. They don't necessarily think of the time that it took me, how long it took me to build this craft and get at this craft. So when it takes me 30 minutes to make a beat for some people, and I show them the price, some people are like, wait, it only took you 30 minutes. Why am I being charged this? But they don't understand the groundwork. A lot of people don't understand the groundwork that you put in to get to that point. So it's basically the prices and people being upset, and some of the people that know you, and then you have to charge them for your work, and you can't always just give it away and show love all the time. People that you really mess with, basically taking things certain type of ways, they're thinking that you don't mess with them like that because they grew up with you or so. They get upset. Some people get upset about me charging them or the prices that I charge them for my work.
Can we talk about prices? Can you give us a range?
There's a difference of, let's say, me working with you.
Me meaning literally WhitneyStylez?
Yes. Me working with you, you ask for something, but that also promotes my music on top of there. There's a give and take along with that. So certain prices are going to be this way other than the other way when there's, let's say a person is putting a song out, they're trying to capitalize the match of that song. Exactly. You just need a background music for your thing. And also it helps promote the music I do. But with producing music, there's a lot of business behind the scenes that have to be tightened up. So people don't understand that, and they don't understand what publishing is and why do you get so much publishing from that. And the producer is a big key to songs. Up and coming artists don't really understand that until they actually enter the business. It's hard for them to accept your cut sometimes.
So what advice would you give to a person who wants to get in this industry?
Consistency is the biggest key. Don't get discouraged. Every 10 beats you make, one will probably get sold. That should be your expectation. So don't get discouraged because you made 10 beats and you presented it to an artist and they weren't feeling any of it. Brush up on your craft every chance that you get.
Okay, so how do you market yourself? I know you said people find you on Instagram, people find you on streaming platforms, but anything else you do?
What, and marketing into the music?
Marketing your craft. I'm Kern Deuce. I make beats. I produce. I engineer.
Okay. A lot of this is networking. So build relationships. You literally have to build relationships. That's like the biggest way to get in. Some people can get in faster. Some people can get a lucky hit though too. So everything doesn't work for everybody, but I would say the main thing is build a relationship with the artist in your city, then branch off, build extra relationships on the outside of your city. Then you go outside of your state, then you go from state to state. Let's say a promoter is throwing a concert in your city, you build a relationship with him already to be able to shake hands with those artists that they're bringing into the city and be like, okay, I make beats. Let's exchange information. I'm going to send these to you. Or you can do some internet searching. A lot of artists put their emails to send beats to them and their bios and everything. That's another way. It's so many different keys that you can tap into, and you just basically sit down, you write down your goals, what you want to do, how many beats you want to sell per week, per day, anything like that. So as far as the marketing thing, that's what I explained about one of the ways I get paid, which is through BeatStars. Through BeatStars, BeatStars is like a Instagram for music producers and artists. So you make a profile on there, but you're uploading, instead of pictures, you're uploading beats or you're uploading songs. Those people can go on there and they can actually, you can pay for a promo if you want to, or people can search certain tags that they're looking for. So if you're looking for a trap beat, if an artist goes on there and they're looking for a trap beat, I can label one of my songs and put hashtags on my songs like, oh, trap beat, West Coast beat, this type of beat, and it's labeled. So once they're looking for that, one of those songs come up, they hear that. That's how you do like the promo part exactly for it.
Okay, so this game is called For the Culture. So what is the best soul food restaurant you've ever eaten at?
The restaurant will be hard to narrow down, but the city is Memphis. BB King's is bomb. When you go to Bill Street, they have a lot of surrounding food places. So if you walk down Bill Street, but they also have things in the city also. Like when we used to go to the University of Memphis parties, we used to go to CK's. They have bomb food. So Memphis is the best food spot.
What is your favorite Black-owned business?
WhitneyStylez.
Period. Thank you, friend. Any other businesses you want to plug?
We're going with Whitney for now. Whitney is the best Black-owned business.
Thank you. Okay, so what is your favorite TV show, movies, series with a predominantly Black cast?
Raising Kanan right now.
So the first season I did not love. I was like, you better get to the point or I'm going to stop watching this. But I like season 2.
Season 2 is very good. I'm on it.
Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite character?
Marvin. Uncle Marvin. That's my favorite one.
So earlier in the interview, you said that your music is available on all streaming platforms, and we definitely going to drop the links in the description box below. But tell the viewers what else they can look forward to.
What you could expect from me next is just new projects with different artists. I'm still doing beat tapes. The more you build that catalog, the more revenue you receive, because they're going to get streaming every time. They're just going to hit because a lot of people are looking for instrumentals and beats. So a lot of streaming comes from that. And at this point, I'm going to start doing at least one beat tape a month. You look up BeatStars and you can go to Kern Deuce, which is my the name at the bottom of the screen, and you will be able to find different beats. I drop at least 2 beats every day.
That's a big deal. It's so consistency is so hard as a regular content creator. So I can only imagine what it's like to be over there making original beats. So what is your greatest accomplishment?
My greatest accomplishment would just be me putting my best foot forward every time. If there's no amount of money, that's my biggest accomplishment. And there's nobody that I feel like I work with, that's my biggest accomplishment. It's all basically just me taking the risk and going out and finding out how to do new things on my own. Once I hit roadblocks, figuring it out and getting to the bottom of it. So I feel like those are my biggest accomplishment, just climbing the hurdles and getting over them.
The journey, the obstacles,
yes,
the perseverance, the never giving up,
exactly,
problem solving.
Exactly.
So look, I imagine there's some times where you be a little stressed out. You be down, you don't feel like working.
Most definitely.
Right? So what song or album instantly puts you in a good mood when you're in one of those funks?
Anita Baker is the artist that I actually like when I'm stressed. I will go to Anita Baker's playlist on Apple Music, and I'll let that just play through. And it calms my whole body down. It calms my mind and everything. It puts me back in the zone that I need to be in as far as just like a positive outlook on everything. It's shocking to a lot of people, but I definitely just go straight to Anita Baker every time.
I don't know what I was expecting, but not that. So yeah,
Exactly.
Who's your favorite artist?
Kendrick Lamar. He puts medicine in the candy, what they would call it. It's hard to put together a positive message or a message that people need to hear, but also make it a great song at the same time. That's a hard thing to make a crowd out of. A lot of people, you get rappers that say just like anything, or just to make a great song that's going to last just for a week or two. It's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of people want their music to last forever. And he's one of those, I feel like he's one of those artists.
What's your favorite Kendrick song?
Section 80. Section 80, fuck your ethnicity. That's what the song is called.
Never heard it, but I figured. Tell the viewers why they should subscribe to the Currency Club.
You should subscribe to the Currency Club because WhitneyStylez is the best interviewer that I've ever had. She is very vibrant and fun. You should definitely subscribe. You're going to get very good content every time she drops a video.
I want to thank you for your time. This was so good. I learned a lot. I appreciate you. You are so talented. The world needs to know. So you know I'm pushing you and your work and your project on every platform that I have. I believe in you. Yes. Yeah. The world needs to see you. Before you go, leave the viewers with an inspirational message.
Don't get discouraged by outsiders. Do what you feel is right. It's only you that have to live this. You have certain people on the outside that you have to worry about, but it's your life. And you need to make things happen the way that you want to make those things happen. And I would say just keep it going and stay consistent.
Yes, love that. I always tell people you need to design your own lifestyle. Like, don't let people put you in a box. Don't be subject to whatever city you live in, whatever jobs you think are available. You can create your own job. You can create your own path. You need to figure out your passion and the type of lifestyle you want and work at it every day. So I love that. That's all we got for y'all. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the club.